Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video, and today we are back with Configured. I wanted to take a little brain break and read some stuff, so here we are. Figured might as well read what I haven't finished yet. So we are on chapter 15. It says, during my second day in the lab, I work on the errant file part of my assignment, making sure all information is secured in the mainframe. I'm kind of amazed at how sloppy some of these chemists are. There's so many mismatched file names and formats, but their specialty is biology, not system code. So it's no wonder. In turn, I'm sure I'd be mediocre at their job. All in all, spending these 2 days in a different department is refreshing. I've also been able to make more mental notes concerning the lab to use in the sim later. Nothing big, but it makes me feel useful. I can read. Once Cora started my way when I yawned a few too many times, so now I try to keep my back to her. As I finish at the last station, voices interrupt the relative silence of the suite. I turn as a group of people donning white coats enters. Margot Yates, the president of Gen Tech, is first. I recognize her from the vids in my introduction the first day. She's followed by more faces I'm unfamiliar with, all but one, Kyra. Beside her is a stocky, middle-aged man who must be Representative Aries. I think I've seen him once on a broadcast. Ares leans into her and says something I can't hear. Kyra pulls out a handheld from the bag slung over her shoulder, unfolds it, and taps the screen, then shows it to him. I can tell by the glimmer in her eyes that she's proud of her work. The group speaks with the lead lab chem, and Kyra again brings up her device and appears to be recording notes. They move over to a magnifier and peer in to take a look. Kyra still doesn't spot me at the back of the room. More voices waft in from the hallway outside the lab, and the group turns. 3 more men enter. 2 are tall and burly, similar to the Guardian officers that roam Gen Tech. Then a stiff-looking man already wearing a white coat enters. Director Manning. Several of the lab chems look up from their work, and I can tell they want to stare, but doing so would give them away as unfocused. However, the occasional glances up give them away. Despite their efforts, even the best of us can't resist such importance. Why in the world would he be at Gen Tech? Manning motions at the lead chem and Ares. Please continue along with the tour, she says to the group, gesturing to the door. An SI assistant floats in to retrieve them. Excuse me. Kyra, along with the rest of them, turn and exit. Manning and Ares follow the lead chem to the back of the room to the mystery door, 108B. My heart picks up speed. I look around to make sure no one noticed my own staring, but they've either gone back to work or are doing some gawking of their own. That lab door has been touched untouched yesterday and today. If Manny is going in there, something is going on. Something big. That was in her head, by the way. The Kim pulls out her flex and swipes the screen. Then the three walk through the now open door. I strain to see inside, but it's a bad angle, and I don't want to make a big deal about it. Unable to get a view inside, the door skims shut, and the burly men stand guard. The other Kims return to their work and pack up as if the leader of direction wasn't even here. On my way out, I steal a last glance at the mysterious room. Having the X-ray vision would be nice right now. Once on the street, I messaged Kyra. Maybe she knows something. Do anything interesting today? I wait for a few seconds, but nothing comes back. She's probably too busy for me. After dinner, I activate the EP and blink into the weapons training sim I was instructed to complete in my affinity account. Instead of the shooting range I selected, I'm in a clearing, flanked by a forest. Overhead, the sky is a soft blue, the sun shrouded in clouds. Short green grasses cover the ground, interrupted with patches of plants growing tiny yellow flowers. I bend down and run a stem between my fingers. The blossom pops off into my palm. In my view, the flower name appears. Burr Miracled. I stroke the flower's petals with my thumb, then bring it to my nose, closing my eyes and taking in the sweet scent. What do you think? My eyes snap open, and I let out a gasp. The flower falls to the ground. Meyer Quinn. The viewer informs me of the person who owns the voice a little too late. I need to hack in and change that setting. Why do you keep doing that? I ask. Meyer circles to the front of me, wearing blue pants and a fiery, orange shirt, so different than anyone in the city wears. Of course he's grinning. It's better than him being angry at me like he was after the last sim. The shirt shows off his muscular chest, and the sight of it makes me turn away, embarrassed. I even noticed. Sorry, I saw you were in. He crossed his arms and studied the ground. I'll set it to alert you before someone new enters the sim. I lower my gaze, laughing to myself. Thanks, I'd appreciate it. Did you change the location? Thought I'd help practice, he replies, not answering my question. That would be helpful. I'm still not getting a few things. A small brown bird flies overhead. My eyes follow it as it soars over the trees on the side and disappears. It's a lark, he says. A lark? Meyer bends down to the yellow flowers. Yeah, I loaded it. It's your last name, and I thought you might enjoy it. And it's also an apology for getting angry at you. It was your first time in a sim. A blush heats my cheeks. Why is Meyer so nice to me? Must be a strategy to build my trust, like I'm supposed to do with Aaron. People thought of them as happy sounding, I say. Does seeing one make you happy? He asks. Guess so, but it's not real. Right now, my happiness seems unimportant in light of what's happening. Everyone should have the right to be happy. It makes Jason's capture worth something. 17 years of direction telling us happiness is irrelevant makes it a hard habit to break. So I ignore his words. My friend Kyra came in on a tour of the lab today with Representative Aries and some other citizens. I tell him. After they were there for a few minutes, Director Manning joined them. Manning? He raises his eyebrows. He's never out among the people. Yeah, it surprised me too. A few minutes after the rest of the group left, he and Aries entered a door against the back wall. I didn't mention it, the same one I saw glowing in the sim. Sounds too crazy. He looks puzzled. Did you report it yet? I smile. I'm telling you. Make sure you note it in your report. I shake my head. I'll do it when you're done in here. When we're done in here. Well, we should get going then, Myers says. Load indoor shooting range scenario 10, then 8. The scene morphs into the indoor shooting range I originally called for. A stunner fills my hand. So you want to learn to shoot. Why not? I shrug. It's not like programming systems has gotten me a lot of experience in that area. I figure I need to practice. Practice is always good. Meyer raises the stunner in his own hands, aiming towards the large black target situated about 40 feet from where we are. He depresses the trigger and shoots several times. When each shot hits the mark, it lights the spot. Myers good, near dead center each time. When he finishes the round, the target vanishes, replaced by a closer one, as does his stunner. Your turn. I'll never be as good as he is. Meyer probably had years of practice, but I would learn if I don't try. I won't learn if I don't try. Might as well give it a go. Okay, first, always hold it pointed downrange, he instructs. No accidents on my watch. I do as he says and hold the grip with both hands, my fingers just outside the trigger guard, squeezing it so tight it almost hurts. Relax, he says. You don't need to squeeze so hard. It's not going anywhere. And you'll have better control if you loosen up a bit. His hand on mine. It's just training, Evelyn. Get a hold of yourself. Meyer gently removes my left hand and shows me which fingers to place where. I have held the weapon in the last sim, but I really had no idea what I was doing. Now, bring your other hand back and steady the weapon in front of you. From behind, he guides my hands up towards the target and helps me position my body in place. Arms a little higher, and bend your knees to control your balance, he says. I follow his instructions, keeping my eyes trained on the mark all the while fairly unsuccessfully trying to keep my mind away from the fact that he's so close to me. Now, move your index finger onto the trigger, and as soon as you can, start to press. Without moving anything else on my body, I pull the trigger, anticipating the imminent burst and slight kick. It just gives under my touch, and the blast shoots forward to the target. I repeat this 4 times. Not bad, Meyer comments. I hit the target each time, 2 of them in the center and the other pretty near the first 2. My lips upturn into a smile as the weapon disappears from my hands. In my excitement, I round toward Meyer and throw my arms around his neck. His muscled chest presses against mine, and the scent of him, clean and good, fills my nose, or at least my brain's mixed with the sim's perception of it. In the split second it takes for me to realize what I've done, I freeze, as does he. We stay like that for what seems like an eternity until I finally slide my arms off his shoulders, embarrassed. Sorry, I say as I back away. Meyer clears his throat. Evelyn, I want to make sure you don't get the wrong idea. The pang of my shame worms its way around in my chest, which by this point basically feels like it's on fire. Really, I didn't mean to. I know, he says. You were only excited, but you need to understand nothing can happen between us. I'm your handler, and that's it. It's a rude comment. I pull my chin up from my chest and gaze into his eyes. I understand. His face stays serious for a moment, and then the corners of his lips turn up to form a smile. But your shooting was really good for your first time in here. Better than most. It was good, wasn't it? I return his expression, revealing a bit of my success. Reveling. That was the word, sorry. Meyer backs off and looks down at his feet. You should keep practicing, but I need to go. I nod and he vanishes from the sim. Instead of reloading the targets, I plop down on the ground. Return to the last sim, I say. The shooting range disappears and is replaced with the field dotted with yellow flowers. I pluck one and bring its sweet scent to my nose again. Ben, why can't things just be simpler? If they were, my twin probably never would have died, and beyond that, direction wouldn't even exist. I know it's too late for Ben, and I may never even know what truly happened to him, but at least I can do some good in his name. Make this world a better place. I lean back onto the grass and let the fragrance of the earth fill me. Maybe the lark will come back. Maybe this time it will sing. I can always do my report later. That is the end of chapter 15, and now we're on chapter 16. Urgent. Flashes on the viewing screen in my bedroom. I creep from my bed, but walk past the screen. Once in the living room, I see the same broadcast alert appear on the media viewer. Reluctantly, I tap the screen. The direction logo pops up. Not wanting to wait, I continue on into the kitchen while Director Manning's voice wharfs behind me. Direction, citizens. Tonight at 8 p.m., a required viewing broadcast will air. It is imperative citizens and children over the age of 12 watch. At its completion, you must immediately log into your citizen account and answer a series of questions to confirm understanding of the announcement by 9:15 p.m. For each hour that questions remain incomplete, each citizen will be docked days' wages. Your cooperation ensures humanity's continuation. That's aggressive. The screen momentarily blanks and the logo returns. I can't remember walking back into the living room, but here I stand in front of the media viewer, heart pounding. A couple weeks ago, this message would have hardly fazed me. Yet citizens have never been docked wages for not watching a broadcast. Come to think of it, I can't recall any time-sensitive announcements. The news can't be good. I tab off the screen. In the bedroom, another message waits on my flex. I swipe to retrieve it. Kyra, returning mine after I saw her come through the lab yesterday. Yes, I did have an interesting day. Can't say much, but exciting events are happening. I messaged a potential spouse pairing. Affinity keeps reminding me to contact Aaron, but I don't even want to think about him. Maybe he'll delete my information eventually, and Affinity will let me move on from that. Kara always was more excited than me for that part, and she sounds as if she could be looking forward to tonight's announcement. Maybe it's not that bad. When I access my Affinity account, there's the reminder again to contact Aaron. This time, it urges me to use flattering language in the message. Says he might respond to it. I log on to my spouse pairing account. A new meeting invitation waits, but I want nothing to do with it, and don't even look at the name. Aaron's account is still active in my potentials, but Meyer's fake account is deleted. I hover my hand over the screen where it used to be, but at the bottom of the list. Used to be at the bottom of the list. If citizens could truly choose, I might elect to find the thoughts behind Myers' intense eyes, but I don't live where choice is an option. Not yet, anyway. Even if I did, Myers' request was never real, just a hack to allow him to arrange a meeting without questions. Aaron is a near perfect pairing. Direction says so, and even affinity is pushing me in the direction, wanting me to almost flirt with him. So, why can't I stop thinking about Meyer? I pinch the heart necklace encircling my throat, pulling the pendant across the chain, lost in the zipping sound of metal against metal, and dreams of the freedom to choose. With a shake of my head, the fog clears. Playing with the necklace could become a bad habit. It's not like it's against the law to wear jewelry, but anything out of the ordinary can make someone appear suspect. I tuck the charm back into my night shirt. Anyway, Myers only been nice to me to accolade, assimilate me to my new life. Just doing his job. In order for me to focus on what needs to be done, Meyer can be no more than a friend, and he knows that too. There's a slim chance Aaron still has interest in me since his account is still active, although he still hasn't responded to my second request. Affinity gave me a simple assignment and I botched it up. Gathering my wits, I asked for the second time to arrange a follow-up meeting. I even throw in a bit of flattering language and ready myself for another day. At closing time, the Gentech elevator is always packed with other employees. I nearly squeeze in at the last second, but spot Daniel near the back. Because of it, I round about and take the stairs. Only a few workers use them, and it gives me a chance to get a run. 6 stories, then rounding the corner to the 7th, I slow for a person at the landing below. You look tired today. How is it you have so much energy? A smooth voice echoes, wiping away my smile. Daniel, how'd he get down here so fast? Before reaching him, I stop. And what does it matter if I'm tired or not? Maybe I'm just working hard. You take the med tech to fix it like everyone else does. But for some reason, you must not be. He steps up the stairs toward me and stops at the one below mine. Aw, I didn't know you cared about my health, Daniel. I don't, he sneers. Maybe you should spend less time worrying about me and more time standing out as a model citizen to guarantee your advancement. I snap back. Before I knew it, Daniel thrusts his hands toward me and grabs at my upper arms. I let out a gasp, and just as I think he's going to let go, his fingers grip tighter around the meat of my arms, yanking me down to his level. I clench my jaw and keep my gaze trained on his icy stare. I've been watching you. That's creepy. And you're not hiding your flaws as well as you think, Adeline. He whispers, narrowing his gaze, unmoving. I hold his stare, refusing to let him think he can intimidate me. Apparently, you aren't either. Maybe you need some med tech. Now, why don't you back off before I report you? I lower my eyes to where he still grips me. Daniel rapidly blinks and frees me, then turns to grab the handrail and stomps down the stairs. I release a breath and my head spins a little as oxygen hits my brain again. I shake my tingling hands. It's as if there's electricity zooming through my arms, either because I can't move yet or to make sure he's gone. Both, if I'm honest. I wait several minutes before resuming my descent. Daniel has been eyeing me since day one at Gentech, and if he'd have actually seen me coding a concealment for Affinity bug, he'd have turned me in. Daniel knows nothing concrete. He only suspects. Or he's hiding a few of his own secrets, like his anger problem. If he wouldn't if he weren't, he'd have turned me in already. At least that's what I hope. Outside, golden rays of sunlight spill over my face as I exit Gentech, making Daniel seem less important. It reminds me of warmth and freedom, of the sim in the field with Meyer. It's a sensation I long for more of, not only in the artificial world, but this one. I have a lot of work to do before that even happens. A voice from behind me pulls me from my thoughts. So you made it to Gentech too. I stop and turn. Cora. Always ready to talk, most likely about herself, just like at university. Placement at Gentech hasn't changed that part of her. But being that she worked in the lab, I'll take advantage of the egocentric nature. Yeah, it surprised me, but you always knew you'd be placed here, I say. She catches up, straightens, and puffs up. Inside, I laugh at her predictability. Working in the lab is fascinating, she says, but configuration was not quite what I expected. Those words shocked me coming from her mouth. Really? Cora realizes her mistake and recovers ignoring my question. Direction is making so many exciting changes. Gentech is right on the current edge with them. Cutting edge. I can read, I swear. Yeah, I saw Director Manning in there the other day with the level 2 representative. My heart races. Pushing Cora for information could be dangerous. Are they often in the lab? I've seen Manning around a couple times. They seem to be working on a project. She whispers. If I were a couple years older, I'd have been assigned to that project. I'm sure it'll come together for you. I give her a tight smile. What do you think it is that secured suite? What do you think is in that secure suite? Keep playing dumb, make her feel smart. Not sure, but this is the first time I saw Director Manning and Aries go in. Her face takes on a serious expression, as if she remembers to mind her own business. Too bad. I should go. Without another word, she's gone. Lena's not home. She hasn't been around for a couple of days, and I find myself missing her. Company would be nice for tonight's announcement, which will no doubt be bad news for Affinity. Unfortunately, no answer comes when I knock at her door. I sigh and head to my unit. Before the door shuts, my handheld buzzes. I pull it up and swipe the screen. Meet me at 6:45 p.m. Attached are SIM coordinates from Meyer. Briny air with a hint of sulfur wrinkles my nose in the simulation. Under my feet is earth, but not dirt. It's too pale and fine. I bend to sweep my hand through it. The rough grains sift between my fingers back to the earth. Ahead of me is water as far as I can see, not still water. Instead, the sapphire waves swell and churn as if lapping the sky and lapping the sky for air, forming the silvery foam before they vanish, then appear again in the distance and repeat the cycle. I rise and walk closer to the shoreline, wind blowing my hair back from my face. Water rushes over my shoes and then pulls back, leaving the earth darker and denser. Again, I bend to scoop a soft clump of foam it into a ball in my palm. It's like clay. Magnificent, huh? Meyer's voice sounds from behind me. I turn to find him walking toward me. Once again, he's wearing completely different clothes than I'm accustomed to. Short khaki pants, a white short sleeved shirt, and no shoes. I peer at my typical black uniform, then back at Meyer. Should I be dressed differently? He laughs. I don't want to assume, but sure. I shrug. What else is available? My clothing has never varied from practical and utilitarian? I'm not sure how to say that. I have no idea what to ask for. Meyer pulls his handheld from his pocket, makes a few motions on the screen, and my clothing shifts. The bottoms of my now bare feet sink into the damp sand, and I wiggle my big toe into it. But then a gentle wind swirls my legs. The hem of emerald green fabric falls at my calf and hangs loose around my lower half. I'm no longer wearing pants, but clothing called a dress. I recognize only from history research at university. They went out of fashion long ago. It's a stark contrast to the form-fitting pants I always wear. The top half of the outfit hugs my chest, and the sleeves, nope, no sleeves, only thin straps. I hug my exposed arms and rub the bumpy flesh under my fingers. I'm a bit naked. Meyer's cheeks flush, and he pulls out his flex again. Sorry, I thought I'd give you a taste of something other than direction stuffy clothes. He swipes at the screen, and a long sleeve, stretchy white top with buttons on the front appear over the dress. His face is sheepish as he asks, Is that better? A little. I'll adjust. I reply, but it's a white lie. He folds and returns the handheld back into his pocket and joins me where water meets land. I'm dreading tonight's announcement, so I thought I'd show you this instead of training. Training is more important. It is, but we won't have a chance again for a long time, if at all. Meyer's eyes focus down, and he pushes the grainy earth around with his left foot. As we walk on the shore, I tell him the little I learned from Cora today and about Daniel's bullying. Meyer bristles as I share what happened in the stairwell with Daniel. You know, if you wear the EP, it can alert you if he's near. I wear it all the time. I don't know if I could. They're undetectable, he pauses. It's how I track you in one. It's how I tracked you in one. So when she was in level 1. I got it now. I cross my arms, and how you knew when I was in Sim? I know, it seems like a privacy invasion, and it probably is, but are my assignment. Sorry, I didn't explain it to you sooner. All I see is your position in relation to me, your vitals, and if you're in a situation, nothing more. I relax and let my arms fall to my sides as I gaze out over the rolling waves. Where do you live now, Meyer? In Allure or outside the city? All over. If I have business in the city, I'll stay in a safe house for a few days. If not, outside city bounds. You can travel outside city bounds? Until recently, Direction has mostly used Guardians to patrol the border, and our people on the inside have gotten us past the parameter. But with human security increased, it's not as easy anymore. Where are you located now? He gestures for us to walk in the city to stay near. Near to what? Me? That's in her head. I blush. That's ridiculous. He must mean rebellion activity. Is on an assignment. Nothing more. Where did you grow up? That's not the question I wanted to ask. In the Outer Bounds, he replies stiffly, with Jason. Really? I study his face. Tell me what it's like. His coal eyes gaze toward the horizon, and the stubble growing from his chin fascinates me. So much so that I have to stop myself from reaching over and touching it. My face warms. Men of the lore never grow facial hair. Most even have their nanos programmed to slow the growth, so it's only has to be removed occasionally. I can't. I'm not allowed. My shoulders sag. What can you tell me? He shrugs while running a hand through his thick, dark hair, only that what affinity does is worth it. It's imperfect outside the city, but I've experienced both lives, and the freedom far outweighs the security and advancement direction offers. He checks the time on his ancient watch. Why do you wear that? I chuckle. You see the time in your EP, or you could just wear your handheld. Time fascinates me. Should have guessed. A bunch of your messages were about it. Remind me of the second one. Lost time is never forgotten again, he finishes. I stop and turn towards him. That's it. What did you mean by that? Oh, it's an old quote from a person who you won't find in an official direction history. Who? A guy named Benjamin Franklin, a leader from a long time ago. You'd be surprised by the information still beyond the walls of Allure. Surprises are overrated, I sigh, thinking of Ben. I just want to know now. Meyer smiles. Then I'd really need to tell you what the quote means. That smile is definitely growing on me. The sun sinks, casting a pinkish-orange hue across the sky. He checks his watch again. Care to view the broadcast with me? In here? Sure, it will auto-play on your media viewer in your unit, but we have access in here too. He gestures to the dry earth beyond us. Have a seat. Behind us. I'd rather watch the sunset, but I guess that's an option. But I guess that's not an option, I grumble lightly. Meyer laughs. No, it's not. I plop onto the ground and tug at my skirt in an effort to cover my ankles. Meyer doesn't notice. He's messing with his flex to bring up the announcement. As he joins me, the view changes into a giant direction logo. My stomach sinks. The sky looked better without it. Direction logo blinks out of sight and Director Manning's face fills the sky, making me draw away. The camera pans back and he sits at a slick white desk with a sterile white background. He's clothed in a white smock, a nod to the fact he's has a science director. Jeez. A smug expression reminds us he knows best. That he's the director, the top tier of intelligence, and should not be questions. His icy gray eyes peering down over those watching send a shiver down my spine. Citizens, it has been Direction's goal for over 35 years to focus on strengthening intelligence since our world population was robust enough to do so. This has meant sacrifice for the greater good. Fortunately, developed intelligence has evolved our nano and med tech, providing optimal health and sustainability for our society through the sacrifice of pruning our population. Manning's fingers gently tap on the desk, and he forms balls with his fists to stop them. We have reached the point again where adjustments have become necessary due to dissenters who plague the population of Allure. My hands dampen as he speaks of affinity. I look over at Meyer, whose wide eyes stare forward toward the vid. We will now allow the Affinity Terrorist Group to destroy the exceptional future. We will not allow, exceptional future of direction lays before us. As of this afternoon, the latest round of vaccinations were completed at each level. Not only does it protect the citizens from the potential life-threatening viruses spreading across our city, a lie, Meyer shakes his head. No serious viral threats have surfaced in the outer bounds for over 90 years. 1990? Before a couple of weeks ago, I'd never believed Manning to be outward lying to us. Each citizen and children's internal nanosystem has been upgraded as a safety precaution. The new technology has the ability to control the nervous system. And as a result, those suspect of consorting with any terrorist group will be unable to move or will remain suspended until a team can arrive to retrieve them. Fear cyclones through my body. I have this tech inside me. Affinity has forced our hand, so we do this for the safety of the people of Allure. We must begin a draft. When curfew lifts tomorrow morning, level 1 citizens and children will have 10 hours to report to a dispatch center on each block within their sector. From there, they will be evaluated to either join the Direction Preservation Force, the DPF, or will be sent home to await future instructions. On the screen flashes a digital image of multiple male and female soldiers in tan, camouflage-style uniforms. Displayed on the chest are letters DPF. Level 1s we thank you for your sacrifice. As a show of our gratitude, if you or someone in your family is chosen for the new DPF, you will receive a 15% wage increase. Levels 2 and 3 will continue as usual, following prior instructions to report any suspicious behavior via your citizen account or app until further notice. Guardian drones will assist in level 1 to maintain order. Until further notice, any business or scheduled family visitations is prohibited in level 1 for level 2 and level 3 citizens. Then he repeats the instructions from earlier in the day that we must all log into our accounts and answer a series of questions concerning the broadcast. Corporation is cooperation. That's probably the word. Is the key to humanity's advancement. The vid blinks and returns to the logo. I turn toward Meyer, numbness setting into my limbs. What does this mean for us? His breathing is quick, but by his expression, I can tell he's trying to work through the news. They're using the VAC tech to control level 1s and turn them into an army. Their goal has always been to phase out those with lower intelligence potential anyway. And this is an easy way to fight affinity and rid themselves of level 1 at the same time. I gasp. Is that true? They did it with the viruses. Bess, I whisper, the thought pierces me. I still have a hard time letting go of the fact that she allowed Ben and me to be a part of an experimentation to raise our intelligence potential. My head knows she probably had no choice, but my heart wanted her to fight harder for us. Your bio mother, is she level 1? Yeah, but I can't see her being made into a soldier. She's not that strong. SIs aren't running everything yet. Direction will still needs level 1s to lower level jobs. Hopefully it can buy her time, but if I'm right, I don't know. He starts to dart his eyes around. He must see something in ZP I can't. Are you safe? I ask, my heart racing. Meyer frowns and touches my shoulder lightly with his hand. Evelyn, I may not see you for a while, but I meant what I said the first time I contacted you. I rack my brain. Lose your life, and you might find it. He finishes, and then he's gone. My body quivers with the thought I'm ready to find a life worth living, because it's not this one, and now time really is running out. And that is the end of chapter 16, and where I'm going to go ahead and end this episode, because I need a break, because my throat hurts. We are getting pretty far. Not doing too bad. But if you enjoyed it, please let me know. I will be back with another video eventually. I don't know when. I'm in study mode. But thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to put some sugar on that like button. Comment down below anything you would like to see. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye!